I'm David Rhode. I'm a research professor here at DRI. I've been here since 1989, so 33 years, and my specialties are archaeology of the arid West and paleoecology of the arid West. My involvement with the Meadow Valley Wash Project is primarily to collect sediment samples, sediment cores from various wetlands in the Meadow Valley Wash system, most productively in the Spring Valley area of Upper Meadow Valley Wash, but also to include the ranches north of Caliente. Wetlands are important depositional centers because if you think about where the water is going to be flowing, it's going to be flowing into swales and ponds and low areas, and it brings in a lot of sediments that can then be trapped into those low areas. If you're up on the slopes, it's all going to be washed off. And so you're going to lose the record up there. But if you're down in the lowland, that's what's called the depot center, or it's where all the deposits are being made, and they build up over time. And in a wetland environment, very often you have an environment that doesn't have a lot of oxygen in it, so it can be anaerobic, and so it can be whatever is deposited in there can be protected and isn't going to rot in place, or if it does rot, some of it, the pollen in particular, is very chemically resistant to a lot of oxidation or chemical slights, and will preserve over time. Same with charcoal, it's pretty chemically inert. And so if you are in a wetland, you can expect to see deposits building up over time. So this small core from what we're calling Spring Valley Bog is about 1,000 years old. At the very bottom of the core, this would be about 1.5 meters down in the bog from the surface itself, is a really dark, organic rich, fibrous zone. It's about 5 centimeters deep, and this is a buried peat deposit. A lot of marsh vegetation growing at that time, probably bulrushes and sedges of various sorts through much of the rest of the core. So all of this, like right here, can be considered one long episode of kind of inorganic deposition of silts and clays within this bog. Very different from the deposition or the formation of the peats that lay below it. People, like all animals, we need to eat in order to survive. We're not plants. We don't photosynthesize our own food using sunlight. We have to rely ultimately on plants for our very survival. We also eat animals, but those animals also have to eat plants. And so it's important to understand what kind of plants are in the environment that people were living in. And people arranged their lives, made their lifeways, made their schedules to utilize the seasonal round of plants as fruit ripened, as seeds ripened, as bulb crops appeared in the springtime for people to obtain different resources. And they grew in various different places, so people moved around to follow the food resources that they were able to exploit. And so this is one of the key reasons why it's important to understand vegetation in a region and vegetation history as the vegetation change as a result of climate change or other environmental disruptions, because ultimately we are all dependent on the plants that grow around us.